This video is going to show you how to adjust image sizes within content on your Canvas course to make sure that it's easily viewable by students regardless of the size of their screen. So whether they're using the Canvas student app from their mobile device, a large monitor, or a smaller Chromebook screen, it will automatically adjust the image to take up the full width of that screen. So to do that, I'm going to go into an assignment I already have created in one of my modules, this performance assessment 10 print card. And if I click in, there's a lot of text on this screen. So just to give it a little bit more visual appeal, I'm going to add a picture at the top by going into my Edit Pencil button. And using the traditional rich content editor toolbar, there's an icon called Embed Image. And I can go in there to pull an image into my course content. So I actually have an image ready to go in my course files. If you would like to, you can always upload a new file. So I have a 10 print card here. And I always like to make sure I take the time to adjust the alternate text to either give a description or a full name to my file that I've uploaded as an image. That way, it will help us later on using the HTML editor, but it's also just good practice to allow all of your content to be more accessible to screen readers should one of your students ever need that accommodation. And then the dimensions are automatically going to load in pixels. I know that we're going to be adjusting the image size, but this is not exactly where I want to adjust it. So for now, I'm just going to click Update, and that picture is now embedded in the top of my assignment. So I'm going to scroll down and click Save just to kind of show you what this looks like. And right now it looks great because it's all the way across the screen for the assignment description, and it fits really nicely. But if I have students that are accessing it on a mobile device and their screen is very small, that picture currently kind of gets truncated and cut off, which is kind of frustrating. And this is just an image. The same can happen to documents as well. So we would like to avoid that from happening. To do that, I'm going to go back into my Edit Pencil button. And the image is already present here, but I'm now going to pop into my HTML editor in the top right corner, and this will take me to where I can view all of the same information in my rich content editor, but kind of from the coding side of it. So there's a lot of code, all of your text and formatting information here, which can be really overwhelming if you don't have any background in coding, which applies to me. But I promise it's actually kind of fun to hunt around. And where I had inserted the image at the top, I know to kind of go up towards the top of the code. And because I paid close attention to my alternate text, I can pick out the exact location within the code that it is dealing with the image that I inserted. And also right next to that are the dimensions that are associated with that file. So you'll see right now that the 1536 and the 396 pixel numbers match the dimensions that were pulled with the image when we first uploaded it. But I don't really care how many pixels it is across. What I really care is that regardless of how wide my student's screen is, it kind of covers that width without getting cut off. So I'm actually going to delete the height information and the pixel number. And in its place, I'm going to put 100%. So now, regardless of everything else, the width of my image is now going to be 100%. So if I click back into the rich content side, it really doesn't look all that different. But now if I scroll down and save, and I adjust the screen size, you can see that that image is going to constantly adjust depending on how wide my screen is. And so that's really nice. No matter what device your students are accessing your course material, the image will now adjust to accommodate the width of that screen automatically. In addition to doing that with images, you can also do that with other docs that you embed into your pages for your Canvas courses. So within the same module, I just have kind of a burner shell page here. So if I click into this, I'm going to go into edit it. And this time, instead of inserting an image, I'm actually going to insert a document. And so I'm going to go to my external tools button and go to my Google Apps where I can search for a document of my choice, sample Google Doc here. And instead of just linking it, I'm going to embed it. And you may have found so far that if you click Save, so that you can view it how students see it, sometimes your Google Doc gets cut off. It's almost like it's not quite wide enough. And so, students, depending on what you have written here, may have to scroll to see the text that's located on the right side of the document. And with it, you're also losing kind of space with your toolbar. So I'm going to go back into edit this. And again, I'm going to go into my HTML editor where I can adjust how wide this embedded doc is. So here, right at the top, what I'm looking for is the iframe. The iframe is just the box in which that doc or whatever you're inserting and embedding in is kind of housed within. And right now, my iframe is sized to be 800 pixels wide with a height of 600 pixels. I like to change my width for the docs, just like we did for the image, to 100%. And so that way, the space that the document will take up will always span the width of the student screen. In the case of the documents, I actually like to leave some height, and sometimes I even increase it. So instead of 600 pixels, I might change it to 800 or 900, just to give a little bit more length to the document that students are able to see at any one time. So if I pop back over to view this, you can now see that it's much wider. You have access to more of the toolbar. It's not cut off, and you can see this full other side of the document. So if I click Save, now students are able to see the whole document without having to scroll left or right to see all of the text.